Oh, one of your partners is coming. I have to meet him. All right. Okay. So as I was talking to you, this last module is related to how to teach with the ICT, no? And today we are going to talk about the virtual learning environments and LMS, that is the learning management system. Then we're going to analyze what is the definition of these two terms, no? These two acronyms. Nowadays, these two terms are so used, they are so popular because nowadays we are teaching in a virtual way. No? This is called a virtual education, synchronous and asynchronous way. No? Remember that we talked about the last session. No? For example, our program is a kind of blended learning. No? We are going to join the synchronous and asynchronous way of teaching. No? So this is the topic of today. As I told you before, we are going to start making a feedback what we did the last class. Now remember that we were talking about these three terms, no? Computer assisted language learning, that is the call, no? Information and communication technology, that is our principal topic, the ICT, and the other one is related to technology enhanced language learning, that is TEL. So notice that with technology we improve. That's why here it says enhanced. No, we are going to improve our language learning and our language teaching. So here we analyze these terms, and specifically with the ICT. No, ICT means information communication technology. Information is related to all the media that we use to communicate, not to inform, to get some information, sorry. All right. So nowadays we use principally the internet, no? In the communication, we have these ways to communicate, no? In order to say this word twice, to communicate. No, we use the mobile phones, the instant messaging, the chat, the emails. So we have different ways to communicate. And technology are related to all the electrical equipment or devices that we use, no, to apply this information and this communication, such as the laptop, the mobile phones, no, the MP3 players, or digital cameras, so the iPad. No? So we use a lot of electronic devices or gadgets, no, in order to use these tools, no, technology. So this is in general what is the ICT. No, sometimes we suppose the ICT yeah, teaches related to computers, but if you notice, it's more than computers. No? So today we're going to analyze one aspect of this ICT that is related to the virtual learning environments. So why ICT is needed? So we analyze different reasons, no? Why we are going to use this ICT, no? The first one is getting a normal part of our English language teaching, no? The other one is that you could bring the world, no? The world into your classroom. The other one is that you can present new opportunities for authentic tasks and materials, no? So you can create, and also you can find these materials, no, in an electronical way. The other ones is related to communication and collaboration, no? So you may your students and also teachers, no? You can communicate and do tasks together. That's why here says collaboration, no? So you're going to collaborate each other to get your learning or to get a progress or improvement in your teaching. And finally, more specifically to our teaching, that is teaching a language. So here you can practice the 4 skills of the language using the IC tools. No? So notice here why ICT is so important nowadays. No? Then we talked about the e-learning, and we mentioned some different terms. No? As we have seen, e-learning is referring more generally to an education developed in a distance, no? Usually by a personal computer and the internet. So we are going to use this technology, no? Such as the internet, CD-ROOMs or portable devices like mobile phones or MP3 players. So we're going to use these technological devices in order to give this kind of education. And we analyze different terms to this e-learning or electronic learning. So we have here the distance learning. So is the course that you take, no, just for virtual way, no, just giving in a virtual way, or maybe in the past, no, that you enter to a course, you're given some materials, you have to read these materials, and then you can come to take your exams. There are no classes in a presential way or face-to-face classes. This is the instant learning. Then we talked about the online learning, is more specifically to the web pages or platforms that we are going to use to give this kind of education. The open learning, remember that the open learning is related to the freedom that a student has in order to enter to a course, or apply a course. So they can decide, students can decide the topics, the subjects that they want to study, the time that they are going to complete this course. No, so it's free. No, there are no specific requirements. No? Maybe it's just some scores, the other activities are not a score. So it's free, no, for the student, no, for the student. That's why he says open learning. No, nowadays, as I told you the last session, nowadays very common. We call these kind of courses the mock courses. No? Some of them are required to be to complete some tasks to continue in the progress of the course, but there are other ones that is not necessary to complete some tasks. You choose, no? You choose the topics that you want to study. So this is called open learning. And finally, the blended learning, remember, is a similar course that we are taking, yeah, that we have a few classes in a face-to-face or presential, but the other parts of the classes are virtual, no? When you have to develop some tasks or watch some videos or listen to some audios, read some materials or handouts. No? So this is called a blended learning. We make a mix or synchronous and asynchronous way of teaching. No? So remember these 4 terms related to e-learning. Now, let me show you. This part we couldn't have the time to talk about it, but I think it's so important to recognize what kind of competencies related to the ICT a teacher must know. For example, here you have, oh, what happened? Oh, just give me a second. Yeah, this is it. So one of the competencies a teacher must know is the technical. What does it mean technical? Just that you must know, or you must have a basic computer literacy. So you have to have some basic skills in order to work with your computer. No, could be a computer, a laptop, or a tablet. No, so it's necessary for teachers now to know how to use a computer, related to how to get some information using browsers or using some softwares related to word processing or PowerPoint, or in order to create some videos or animations, so you can use some multimedia software. And also, what I think is not so necessary, but maybe you need to have some idea how to create web pages. No, this is a web page building. Nowadays, there are a lot of pages that you can create. No? There are some web pages that allow you to create your own web page. No? For example, Google has a tool, no, that you can create your web page. All right. Oh, be careful, please, with the microphones. Okay, thank you. So this is called the technical competences or skills that you need to know, you need to have if you want to develop this kind of teaching, no? Using the ICT. So this is called technical. No? So as you can see, basic knowledge of browsers. Browsers are the tools that you use in order to find information, all right? For example, Google is a browser, Yahoo is a browser, Bing, I think this is another one, Bing is another browser, no? So these are some tools that make you, allows you to find information easily, no, and quickly. The other are related to softwares, no? So you must have a basic knowledge of softwares, like word processing, Word, no? The Microsoft Office. I think most of you, most of us, no, includes me, so most of us know how to use Word or PowerPoint, you know? Sometimes we can use some software in order to create videos, you know? For example, Windows, this is the software that you use in order to work with your computers, no? We have Windows 8, Windows 10, no? Windows 365, so there are a lot of Windows. One of the most common is Windows 10. So inside Windows, you have a software that you can create videos. No, you can join or cut or edit videos. That is Windows Maker, Windows Video Maker, no, or DVD Maker. Can't remember exactly the name. If you don't have it, you can download it from the internet. You have to write here Windows DVD Maker. It's not too heavy. It's not too heavy. You can install it into your computer and you can edit videos. No, you can edit videos. So this is one of the competencies, and the other is related to the web page. No, how to build or how to create web pages. In the past, for example, when I was a student, it was so complicated to create web pages because you need to know the language programming, programming language with some codes, numbers, symbols. Oof, it was so tough. And there was a software too, Dreamweaver, I can remember. I don't know if you have heard about it. So you have to learn this software and you can create a web page. No, you can design a web page. But nowadays, it's so easy to create web pages. No, you can create a web page, you can create a blog. No, remember a blog? It's a web page, but it's a personal web page, that you can upload and download information, with your students or other colleges. Or you could also use the wikis, that we were talking about the last class, the wikis. These are editable, notice, editable web pages. So you can change here some information to, you just not read, download and upload information. No, so the information that you could find on the wikis could be changed too, right? So notice, it's not so difficult to know how to create or build up web pages. Then we're going to see how to create blogs and wikis. So these are called the technical, notice, technical competences that you must know nowadays. The other one is networking or communication. So we were talking about these two, no? When we talk about networking and communication, we have these two aspects, asynchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous related to chats, MSN, or video conference. For example, we are using this, we are communicating, we are having this session through using the video conferencing. So it's so important to know how to use these platforms, because these platforms, video conference platforms, are used a lot nowadays. So we call this the synchronous part. In the synchronous part, we have the email, the forums, mailing list, or blogs. So we have this asynchronous aspect. So this is another part of the ICT core competencies, networking and communication. Let's pass to the other one. The other competency that is so important, I think, because sometimes we, teacher, I want to find some material or some aspects to investigate, but I can't find it. It's so difficult to find it. So it's important as a teacher to have this competency, how to search, how to look for information on the internet. So I'm going to give you here some advices, all right? For example, tools for a greater breadth of search. So you amplify, in order to amplify your search. The first advice is to search for two terms concurrently. Sometimes we want to find a topic and we just find a topic. No, we write a topic, that's it. but maybe you could use other term related to it. So you use the word or. This is very important. So you just don't have just your topic or your word. You amplify. Yeah, if internet, the browser can find this word or this topic, could find the other topic related to the other one, no? For example, here you have a hydraulic fracturing or fracking. So notice you have two options, no? You're giving two options to the browsers, to the search engine, not just one option. So the search engine has two options to look for information, no? So here you have the example, no? Hydraulic fracturing or fracking. So these two terms. The other is to use synonyms. Search synonyms when you're unsure of the appropriate term. Maybe you cannot remember exactly, oh, what was the topic, or what was the web page? So you could find a synonym. Numerous search terms could be relevant and you might want to cast the net as wide as possible. For instance, if looking into a higher education establishment that offer a particular course, use a title to include all kinds of institution. Notice the symbol, and this is a tiled. No, this is like a curved line, no hyphen, but a curve. So you have environmental studies, university. So you want to find this topic related to universities, no all kinds of information. No? So here you have to university, all right? So with Yale College as well as universities. So notice here, this is one. And in order to amplify, remember, greater breadth of search is to amplify. Oh, yes, I accept them. Yes, I just accepting. Acabo de aceptar a tres. Yeah, I don't have any more. I'm checking. Just a second. Yeah, no, there are no more. Yeah, let's continue with the second. The second is tools for greater focus. So site or format specific, no? So if you want to find a specific websites or specific formats, if you want to find a slideshow, or maybe you want to find a PDF, or maybe you want to find just a Word file, so you specify what kind of format you want or what size you want. For example, get search results from only the site you want. Notice just the site you want. Put site and a column, no? Site, column, and the topic that you're looking for, you're searching for. Before the terms you are searching to search only a particular site. For example, if searching for information on change management and you recall reading about a topic in the Harvard Business Review, notice the example, site, colon, hbr.org, change management. So notice here you're reducing. Notice the difference. In the first advice, you amplify. In this second, you are reducing the search to something more specific. Not any other kind of information, just from this website. Notice, you just write site, colon, not the colon, and the topic that you want to search. So it means to search for articles pertaining to the topic only at hbr.org. So only on this web page, no any other web page, just on this web page. Notice site, colon, and then the topic, or then maybe the name of the web page that you can remember, no? Similarly, put site, colon, edu for a search of only education-related sites. For example, this is very helpful for us because sometimes we look for information and you have information related to other context, not for our teaching context. No, for other contexts, maybe. For example, this term VLE and more specifically LMS, you can find not just for education, it is used also for business organizations. So sometimes you can get information but related to business, not to education. So in order to be more specific in your search, so you can write cite colon. Remember, cite, oh yeah, there are two more people. I'm going to admit, yeah, acabo de admitir a dos más. So here you have cite, remember, cite colon and edu. So the search engine is going to search just for education related websites, no any other kind of sites. Notice that you're being more specific. Your search is more specific and you can get the information that you want, not that you desire. Another one, notice here, another advice to improve your search is review comparable or competitive information sources. Put related column before the site you search to list sites with similar content. For example, entering related nighttimes.com into the search bar leads the likes of USA Today, the Wall Street Journal, CNN.com, etc. This is also useful for searching specific competitors if you're conducting competitor intelligence. No? So notice, these two advices is to specify, to be more specific on the kind of websites that you're going to search the information for, all right? Now let's pass to the third one, the format. What kind of format do you want to get this information? In a Word file, in a slide, no, the PPT, the slide or PowerPoint, or PDF or Excel. So here the spreadsheet, no, in Excel we call this the spreadsheet. And so here you have this. How can you get that? Go straight to the PPT or PDF or Excel files containing the detailed information you need. Put file type, notice file type column PPT, file type column PDF, or file type column XLS. So this is the format for Excel, no? It's very important to know what is the abbreviation of these formats, no? For example, for Word is DOCX, no? Docs. In the past was just doc. Now it increased one letter, docs with X. If you want to find a PPT, so you can write here PPT or PDF. If you want to find an Excel, so you have to write the end, no? At the end, I don't know if you can notice this. At the end of the name of your file, when you are creating, for example, a test in Word, so you write, no? Oh yeah, worksheet number 1, dot DOCX. I don't know if you could notice that. So this is the file. Notice the format of the file. DOCX is Word. The other one, XLS, it's a format for Excel. So here you can specify what kind of format you want, all right? So you use this. For example, I use a similar one. I don't know if you have used it before, but I use the symbol plus. For example, now I'm looking for present simple slides. So I put here present simple plus, oh, please, your microphones. Present simple plus PPT or PDF or DOCX. No? So you write a format and you can get just the format you want. So the search engine, in this case, I think that you use the most Google. So you find here all the links related to PPTs or all the links related to PDF, just it. So you are specifying. Notice this is another characteristics or another competency that you must have. And the other advice, just to pass to the other one, tools for greater accuracy of results. So here you can use quotation marks. This is very important. This is another strategy in order to get better results when you want to find some information using quotation marks. So it means that you are finding, for example, you're looking for information related to virtual learning. If you just write virtual learning in Google, so Google is going to work with these two words, virtual and learning. So Google is going to find information, some articles maybe, or some web pages related to virtual, and some web pages related to learning, and some web pages with both terms. So you have a lot of links, and maybe not all of them are useful for you. So in order to be more specific, and you just want to find information about virtual learning together, so you have to write it in a quotation marks. This is very important, all right? The other one is to use hyphen. Use a hyphen to keep out unrelated results. For example, if you're looking for Jaguar of the feline, not the automotive, notice, if you put Jaguar, just Jaguar in Google, so you can find information about the car and also about the animal. So, but if you want to find just information about the animal and not the car, so you write a hyphen. So you write Jaguar hyphen car. So it means that you don't want to search information about the car, just the animal. Notice you are separating, Notice you are being more specific. So in this way, the search engine is going to look for information relating to the animal, not to the car, no? Because you know Jaguar is also a brand name of automotive cars, automotive industry, sorry. The other one is the asterisk. If you're unsure of a word within a phrase and don't want it impacted on the quality of search results, use the asterisk to fill in the blank, whether it's a word or part of a word. For example, if you're looking for information on NPS and internet, asterisk, score as the search term, you will see results on the Net Promoter Score. So you're going to include, if you're not so sure about the topic, maybe you can remember just one word of the topic or two words, but this is 3 words or 4 words, so you could use the asterisk. And finally, use search for as a fast way to convert measures and currency or find out what time it is in a different time zone. So this is extra information, no? Convert some measures, no? For example, currencies, no? From dollar to soles, from dollars to euros, no? Or maybe you could find measures, no? From kilograms to a foot, no? This is international in England, no? International measure in England, foot and kilograms, no? Or kilometers, no? So these kind of measures, no? So for converting measures, put X to Y, for example, gallons to liters, and you can find information, no? For converting currency, put A in B, for example, dollars in pounds, or USD in GBP, the acronyms, no? For the time in a particular location, put time in, followed by the location you want. For example, time in Tokyo, and you can find the time in Tokyo. No? So notice, these are strategies, these are techniques in order to improve your searching. It's very important to know, to have a better search on the internet. Now, let's continue. The other is related to evaluating. Yeah, so here you are going to evaluate some web pages, the accuracy, the authority related to authors, no? Currency, navigation, and design. No? So maybe you can analyze some web page. Oh no, this is useful for me. Oh no, this doesn't have an author. It's against the author's rules. No? So you analyze these web pages. No? Or the URL. No? This is the address. Now, the other is creating. So you can create handouts, worksheets, slides, web pages for web-based lessons or web quests. So you need to create, Remember, on the internet, you can find the information, you can find worksheets, slides, but also it's important to create and uploading, using maybe your platforms or your web pages. So it's very important to know that. And the last one is related to teaching. No? So here you have to know how to develop tasks or to give tasks to your students, language awareness, research projects, intercultural projects, and online activities. So you have this in order to use the ICT in your teaching. No? For example, when we talk about tasks and online activities, these are referring to the platform or web pages that you are going to use. For example, today we're going to talk about these platforms. No? This is related to the LMS, the Learning Management System platforms. So notice here all the information related to the competencies that a teacher must know nowadays. Now let's pass to the topic that we are going to talk about, and we are going to practice. All right, we are going to practice this virtual learning environment. What is a virtual learning environment? It's a web platform. Notice this is a platform, a web platform designed to facilitate the management of teaching and learning processes. It allows the administration, distribution, monitoring, and evaluation of all those involved in teaching and learning, be they completely remote, face-to-face, or mix. So here we call this the virtual learning environment. So we are, in simple words, according to my point of view, this is a way to simulate, no? To simulate the physical learning environment that we have in the classroom, right? Now we pass to the virtual one. No? It could be remote, completely remote at a distance. It could be face-to-face using the video conference platforms, or mix. You combine the remote, the asynchronous, and synchronous part or aspect of teaching. So we call this the virtual learning environment, or VLE. No, this is the acronym, the VLE. So when we talk about the VLE, it involves a lot of aspects, a lot of things that we could use. It has, for example, a lot of resources. You can download, upload, and create videos, files, documents, books, links. No, here you have a chain. This is a link to other web pages, pictures, audios. So you have a lot of resources in the virtual learning environment. The other one is the administration tools. So you can administrate the virtual learning environment. You can have some configurations to your courses. Now this is related when you create your courses. You are going to manage the participants, the activities, the scores, the qualifications, how you're going to communicate with your students. So you administrate. Notice, you're not just a teacher. Now you are the administrator of this virtual learning environment. Then we have the communication tools. No, you can communicate with the SMS, email, chats, mobile phones. No? So you use a lot of media in order to communicate with your students or teachers too. No? And finally, you have the assessment tools. You have some tools to assess, to qualify your students. You can develop and give tasks to be evaluated, no? Or tests or quizzes to be scored, no? Or you can give a feedback about this test or this score or this task. So notice all the tools that we could have in a VLE, or virtual learning environment. The other term related to virtual learning environment is the famous LMS, or Learning Management System. As we have seen, the virtual learning environment is basically a general concept. Remember, this is a general concept that is specifying an application, platform, or software called a learning management system. So the general concept is the virtual learning environment. In order to create this environment, we use this LMS. That is the learning management system. It could be an application, it could be a platform, it could be a software that you can create. Notice that you can create the virtual learning environment. And you use, in order to create this virtual learning environment, you are going to use the LMS, the learning management system. In the field of education, the LMS platform is one of those tools that has not only facilitated learning processes, but has transformed the way people learn and teach today. So if we have seen, learning is created, so this platform, this software, these applications are created to organize and deliver material that enables learning activities to an online audience. Management, because you can organize and manage online courses, participants, the results, and analyze the effectiveness of educational material. And finally, system, because you are going to use a software or a computer application. For example, there is another one here that you use a web page to, no? But you use specifically a software, but you can use a web page too, no? For example, Google Classroom that we're going to do just in a few minutes. It's an LMS, but it's a web page LMS. No? It's not specifically a software, no? For example, Moodle, this is a kind of software, or Blackboard. No, I don't know if you have heard about Blackboard or Canvas. So here you use these parts of softwares. No? So here, this is the LMS. Now we are going to talk about the most common LMS. There are a lot. Yeah? I'm putting here just the three that teachers use the most. Yeah? There are other ones, and you can find it also in your handout, in your material. You have other ones. I put just here three. Google Classroom. This is related to Google company, no? And more specifically to your Gmail account. Okay, so you can create a class using your Gmail, all right? Because you have this app inside a Google Suite. No, we call this the Google Suite, where Google has a lot of applications. No, Google has a lot of applications, not just the Google Classroom. So you have Google Forms, Google Documents, the Jamboard that is an interactive board, no, a whiteboard. So you have a lot of tools. Then I'm going to show you this. So Google Classroom, it's a platform that allows you to create virtual classrooms. No? That's what I name. No? Students and teachers can share material in various formats, create activities, questionnaires, grade, and send the respective feedback. They can also post notice, receive messages from students. It works on various devices such as mobiles and PCs. For example, as a personal experience, I think the easier platform, because remember, LMS is a platform, the easiest platform for me is the Google Classroom, then the Edmodo, and then Moodle. Then you can find a Chamilo, no, or Canvas, or Blackboard. So you have a lot. I told you there are a lot of LMS. Remember, all of them are LMS because this is a language management system. All right. Some of them are open source. It means that you can. Oh, the microphones, please. You can modify the design, the content of these courses, of this platform. Others, no. So they are just fixed. You just can check or give some tasks, but you cannot modify the design of the content of the course. But others, you can do that. You can be the administrators, but other ones, no, you just are the teacher, no? So you can give some tasks or check up the feed or give a feedback, and that's it. But the other ones, as Google Classroom, you can modify, you can design the content of your courses, of your classes. That's why we call them open, no? Like Moodle, no? Similar to Moodle or Edmodo. For example, Blackboard, Canvas, they are not so open. Yeah, they are not so open. You need to pay for that. Moodle also you need to pay, but there is a free version with not so many tools, but you can use it, and I'm going to show you how to use it. So this is the Google Classroom. It integrates several of the tools that Google provides. Now, as I told you, here you can find Google Documents, Google Forms, the Jamboard. So you have a lot of tools, and you could use it in any device, on your laptop, on your PC, on your cell phone. It's very friendly users. For example, if I compare Moodle, because I use both Moodle and Google Classroom, I think the Google is friendly user. So it's so easier to use in your cell phone. You can change topics, design your courses on using just your cell phone, but on the Moodle is not so easy. You just can check the task that you gave to your students, maybe give a score, but it's not so easy to work with Moodle in a cell phone. It's easier to work with Google Classroom in a cell phone. I use them a lot. So here you have the Google Classroom. The other one, as I told you, is Moodle. You can create online teaching learning environments or virtual campuses. It has a set of tools centered on the teacher and the student and activities that develop collaborative learning. This is one of the strength parts, aspects of a Moodle. It has a lot of activities to give to your students. All right, you have a lot of activities that you can insert into this platform, and your student can develop. And also, it's most of them are self-score, so the platform score these activities. You just not have to check it or score it. No, the platform does. All right, so here you have this. This is one of the strengths aspects of Moodle, comparing with Google. Google, you have some activities. No, you have some activities. You can download, upload files or documents, videos, and so on, but you don't have so many activities. Most of the activities are related to quizzes or forms then you are going to use. It has a simple interface, easy to learn and use. And when you use in a PC or laptop, yes, it's easy to use. But if you use it in a cell phone or mobile, it's not so easy. Moodle has three main roles in online training actions: students, teachers, and administrators. You can use the site, this site is very important. You can use the site https://www.milaulas.com. This is the page that we are going to use to create your Moodle course. To create your first classroom in Moodle and experience its benefits. So you're gonna be the administrators. This is free, but it has some reduced, and reduce characteristics. No? If you want to have more characteristics, you need to pay. No? And the other one is the Edmodo. It is a platform whose main objective is to allow active communication between teachers and students. The design of this is similar to a Facebook page, because you call here the task post. All right, it's like a social media. All right, this is the difference with Google and Moodle. It seems to be a social network environment, not just a class. Then I'm going to show you this. It provides a private and closed files and links can be shared, and a classroom calendar. No, most of the elements share the same characteristics. No? That there is the communication with the students, teachers, parents too. You can upload, download files. You can give tasks or activities to your students. You can assess your students. So all of them share these general characteristics. The way they develop is the difference. You can create and schedule quizzes and assignments. It is possible to upload files, share links and materials that support the development of learning. So notice here, these are the three most common that I use the most too. I've heard about Canvas, Chamilo. Yeah, I tried just one Canvas. Chamilo, it was a long time ago. I tried to use them, but I think these three, for me, They are more practical, easy to use. You don't have to pay anything, all right? You have a lot of characteristics or tools that you can use in your class. So let's start. I'm going to change my screen. Let's start with Google Classroom. For example, can you remember when we started our program and I gave you a code? No, remember when we took phonetics, phonology courses in face-to-face class? No? So I gave you a code and you have to develop some tasks. No? You have to upload your audios of your PDF or your worksheets. No? And I told you that then I'm going to show you how to create that. So let's start with this. I'm going to share my screen related to Google. Yeah, just give me a second. Yeah, this is it. I'm going to share it now. Yeah, tell me you can watch it, please. Can you watch it?
Yes.
Yes, Professor, we can watch it.
Yes, I can watch that.
All
Yes,
right.
teacher. Yes.
Okay, all right. So let me show you one example. Now, this is one of the courses that I created, no, one of the classes that I created using the Google Classroom. No, notice here that you have this. Now, this is the course phonology AV. For example, I'm going to show you my dashboard, my classes. No? So this is some of my classes. So I created that. So how can I enter to Google Classroom? Let's make a review here. Remember, you just need to use your Gmail account. I think all of you has a Gmail account, right?
Yes, Professor.
Yes. All right. So when you enter to your Gmail, for example, let me show you my Gmail. Yeah? Or you can write on Google Classroom, and you can find this. No? Yeah, this is my Gmail. No? For example, this is my Gmail. So here you have this icon where you can have some dots or squares, no? Here on the right, the top part of the right, no? Here says, as you can see, apps, no? Google Apps, aplicaciones de Google. So you can find here a lot of apps using Google. Notice you have the search, the maps, YouTube, Play Store, Gmail, Drive. This is one of the most important things. Drive, all right? The calendar, the translator, photos, news, Meet, the platform, video conference platform that is produced by Google. This is Google Meet. Duo, it's a kind of similar to Meet, yeah, with a few people. Documents, books, Blogger, for example, we use this to create a blog. Hangouts, Google Keep, and here you have the classroom. Notice, you click here and you enter to your Google Classroom. So here you can find courses because I created one. Yeah, I created some of them. But if you just starting using Google Classroom, you are not going to find anything here. Yeah, it's in blank. All right. So don't be scared. Oh, teacher, there's nothing. There's nothing. What can I do? Yeah, it's okay because you just starting. All right. So in order to create a class, it's so easy. Notice what are we going to do? We are going to go to the top part again. Notice here my cursor. Yeah. Here you have the symbol, no? The plus symbol. Can you see it? Yes. The plus symbol.
Yes.
You click here, notice you click here on the plus symbol and you have two options. Join a class or create a class. If you are a student, you can join a class. But if you are a teacher, so you could use this as a student or as a teacher, and maybe you have signed up in a course given by Mineru, no? And it is developed using the Google Classroom. And they gave you a key, a password, so you can enter as a student, that is join a class. But if you are a teacher, this is what we're going to do. So you have to click on the link where it says create a class. All right, create a class. So you have to check here that you read this. No, this is some information related if you're going to use this classroom for schools. No, there are some limits of the students or participants, but it's enough. If you have 30 students, 40 students, it's okay. You're not gonna have any problem. And if it's more, yeah, there's a little problem, no, because you have to pay for the G Suite. Is for payment, no? And also you have other tools too, all right? But I advise you that it's okay. You just check that you read and understood the information, continue here, and you start creating your class. So you are going to name your class. Notice you have to give a name to your class. Let's imagine, no? Let's imagine ICTs, no? This is related to the course that we are taking, no? ICT or ICTs, no, as you want, or teaching with ICT, no? So this is the course, teaching with ICT. So then you write a grade, the classroom, no, the classroom. For example, you say first grade, no, I don't know, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, you're teaching primary. The topic, the topic here, maybe any kind of topic. This is education, no? Because we are talking about here this topic of education. The room, well, I usually use this, no, virtual, no, virtual room, because this is LMS, no? And you have to wait. Notice you have to wait for some seconds. Notice how easy it is to create your class. Then I'm going to give you a feedback in order to, maybe it's too fast, but don't worry. That's it. Notice your course, your class is created. You just created your class. Teaching with ICT, first grade. Also here you have the code. Remember that I gave you a code that you can sign in to the course. No? For example, if you want to sign into this course, so you have to write this, no? You enter to your Gmail. Notice you enter to your Gmail, look for the app classroom, and look for the plus symbol and join a class. That's it. Join a class and put here the code, and you are in my class. All right? In the ICT, the teaching with ICT. Here you have the option to upload a photo. No, maybe you have a photo, no, in order to give more visual aspect, no, to your course. You can select from a photo or picture that you have in your computer and upload it here, no? So you have other, oh, Google has some themes that you could use in your course, no, related here more to education. So we are talking about ICT, so you could use one of these, no? Let's see here. Select the theme and notice that here is going to be changed. So this is in order to give a more visual aspect to your course. No? So here we are going to analyze these topics. No? Here you have the news, you have some messages or posts that you can receive from your students, or about a task that you developed. No? So you can find here. Then here is the second important aspect in order to create your class in using Google Classroom, because you are going to design, all right? You are going to design your course. You created, now you have to design it. If you are going to develop your course using terms, no, by monthlies, or using weeks, so you have to design your course. Notice here. So here you have again the plus symbol or create, yeah, the plus symbol or create. I'm going to change the language. Yeah? Just give me a second. Mm, I don't know what's happening. Oh no. Yeah. All right. That's it. And notice I changed the language. All right. So here you have the plus symbol create, and you have here some activities. Notice this is the weak aspect of Google Classroom, that you don't have a lot of activities. Now, when we check up the Moodle, Moodle has a lot of activities to develop in the platform. But here you have, I think it's enough activities to do with your students. No, a simple one that you can use with your students, no? Because sometimes when you have a lot of activities, sometimes your students don't understand, oh, what kind of activity, what was the activity, oof, and they can get confused. Here, this is simple ones, no? So you have task with a questionnaire, notice. A question, this is like a poll, no? A quick survey with just one question, and then you can receive feedback. Material, you have to upload some material to your students, could be PDF or Word, no, an audio, whatever you want, or a link, no, maybe a link to a video, a link to an audio. So you could use all of them. Notice a task, this is like an assignment, all right? A task with a questionnaire, so maybe an assignment, but they have to complete a quiz or a questionnaire as a test. A question, as I told you, is like a quick survey. At the moment, just one question. Oh, what do you, or what are your expectations for the course? And they have some options, no? To know about phonetics, or to know about the grammar, or to know about, so they have to click and just at the moment, right? Material, as I told you. So here you're going to upload any kind of material, could be a Word file, a PDF file, an audio, a video, a link, all right? And finally, here you have the reuse the post. So you need to use this post to another class or to another section of the course. You could reuse it. No? You just change some aspect of this post. And finally, in order to organize, notice, in order to organize your classes, so you are going to use the topic. Here you're going to design the course in classroom. Let's see, topic. For example, let's imagine that we are going to work with 4 terms. During a year, no, it's generally known that we work with terms, no, or by monthlies, no? Bimestres, lo que llamamos bimestres. So you can define here the term. For example, here you can write first term. And notice at. You click on at. And now you have that topic. Notice here in this topic, you are going to add materials, you are going to give assignments. Again, we are going to do it again. Notice here, create, remember, create a task, no, a topic again. Now we are going to pass to the second term. Okay, notice here, first term, second term. Now, I want to insert some activities to my students in each term. Notice, I want to upload some materials. What are you gonna do? Create. Just with this icon, remember, create. In create, you have here task. Remember, task is similar to say an assignment, no? That you give some exercises, activities to your students during a timeline, no? They have a deadline, no? So they have to complete this activity until that day. So this is a task, no? Task with a questionnaire that you can insert a quiz. Question is just a poll, no? A poll, a quick survey that you can do with your students. Material. Let's imagine that I want to upload some material. Material, the title, let's imagine that we are going to talk about Bloom's taxonomy related to ICT. Notice here, this is the title of the material, all right? This is the title of the material. Description, oh yeah, a worksheet related to Bloom's theory. That's something simple. It's not necessary to write a lot here. Now, add. In order to upload your material, so you have to click on the icon add. Remember, add. And here you have some options. Google Drive. If you have this material in your Google Drive, so you can use here, all right? So you put Google Drive and enter to your Google Drive and find the material and put it here. A link, maybe it's a video on YouTube related to this topic and you want your students to watch this video. So you copy the link and put it here. A file, an archive, notice here, a file. So you have here to upload a material. No? So we are going to do this. We're going to do this. Browse. And you can find here a lot of, this is some of my links. Let me see, where could I put this? No, it's not here. Yeah, let's imagine this. Imagine that I want to put this. Notice, and this is just an example. It's not the original material. And that's it. Notice here, this is a PDF file. And you can watch it here. Now using Facebook in teaching English, final. So notice, and this is not related to the topic, but in order to give just as an example, no? Notice that you have to write a title, you have to give a short description, then you have to click here on at, notice at. You can have the information taken from Google Drive or a link or an archive or maybe from YouTube exactly, all right? But here just a PDF file. Now, notice here on the right, it's very important because not just, okay, and to post or send it. No. First, you have to put it on which topic or unit or term you want to upload this file, this material. So here you have the course. Look at here, because I created a lot of course, so it can appear on the course I want to put it. Oh yeah, I want to put it in phonology. Yeah, you put it in phonology. Oh, I want to put it in teaching with ICT. You put it in the teaching with ICT. So we're going to stay here. We're not going to change anything here. Then here you have to all the students. Maybe you don't want to give this material to all your students. So you can select here. What students are you going to give this material? Here you cannot see it because there is no any students enrolled here in my course. You just have the option all the students, no? All the students. So generally we give the materials to all of our students, right? Then this is what I told you, that topic. Oh yeah, this is on the first term or on the second term? Yeah, on the first term. And then you click here to post or send. In some cases you're going to send it. And notice you can find this material. Notice you can find this material here. All right. So this is the material. This is the material that you have uploaded. On the first term, notice it's on the first term. So let's do it again on the second term. Now I want to put it on the second term. All right, let's see it. Now we are going to do the same on the second term in order to clarify. So again, create, notice, create a material. Let's see here in the material, teaching English. No, this is just an example. The description, worksheet, you can add more. Add file or archive file, no? Browse, in order you want to get from your PC, all right, from your PC. Or you can use your Google Drive. Remember, if you have this material on your Google Drive, so you could use it from your Google Drive. Browse. Let's see my another one. That's it. Notice. Now, what do we have to do? After uploading the file, so you have to check where is gonna be this file and to students, no? Why can't we say for all the students or just for a few of them? So here you have the course or the class first, the students, and finally the topic. Now this is gonna be on the second term, no? Because we have just uploaded on the first term, the second term. After this, you have to pause it. And again, notice here, you have the material uploaded. You have the material uploaded. So here, oh, the spelling. I made a mistake on the spelling. Teaching English. So here you have this. And if you click here, you can find the PDF. Notice, click again here. You have the file. So the students click on the file and they have the opportunity to watch or download it. So notice, this is the way how you're going to organize. So I just give you some examples. I'm going to show you another design. For example, I used to work with Wix. Just give me a second. Now with Wix, I'm going to go to another course, yeah? Here, notice on the new arrivals, so announcement, here is the announcements. You have the different messages, no? To you as a teacher and from your students too. Notice here, English Learning published new material, English Learning published new material. No? So all the activities that you do here or you upload are here. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna show you. How can you see the assignments? In this way, this is another comparison with Moodle. Moodle is not so easy to to see the assignments. You need to click on the assignment and download it, and you can check it and then score it. One of the most common features of Google Classroom is that you can check the task here, but it depends on the type of file or format. There are some formats that are not accepted by Google Classroom, so in that way you have to download it. But if the platform accepts the format, so you can check it here on the same platform. You don't have to download it. That's why you cannot have some troubles with your hard drive, no? Because sometimes when you download task assignments, so your computer, your PC, the hard drive of your PC is full. It's going to explode and it's going to be slow. This is one of the advantages, I think, so with a Google Classroom. So notice here, how I divided this class with weeks. And notice, I divide this class for weeks. And the example that I gave you was divided by using terms, no? Terms or bimesters. Here I divided the course by weeks, no? 9 weeks, 10 weeks, 11th week, 12th week, and the different activities that I gave to my students, no? For example, this is the recording of the video lesson. This is a task. Notice here the icons, no? Try to recognize the icons. This is a task. This is another material. I download materials. Another material, a some worksheet online. So Let's see, how can I see the assignments? You click here and notice you have a summary, 8 assignment, 16 qualify, everybody entered to this. So you enter here and notice you have here the task. Eh? You have here what students didn't send the task, and then you score here. Notice you're going to give the score. You have the audio, all right? This is the audio. For example, this format, the audio is not accepted. It appears here, all right? This is another audio. This is an audio from WhatsApp. This is another audio. For example, this task was related that my students are going to record themselves and they have to upload the audio, the recording, all right? So this is one way to get evidences. For example, we are giving just a brief pass to the topic of the evidences. And you can listen here these audios, all right? And notice here, you have the format. So you click here, notice, and you can listen to the audio here. You don't need to download it. Notice, you don't need to download it. Oh yeah, well, I think this is too heavy, so you need to download it. Now, this is another part. When the file is too heavy, so you need to download it. If it is not too heavy, so you can qualify here. You can listen or watch. If it is a video too, you can watch a video here. Oh, Tanya, do you think this is irrelevant to prepare physical material considered because of this pandemic? We don't know when we'll return to presential. Yeah, let me tell you something. When I try to prepare some materials to my students, I prepare it first physically, and then you have the opportunity to pass it to an electronic way, or you can upload it to the platform that you're using, or maybe through WhatsApp. Sometimes it's not necessary to use an LMS. You could use WhatsApp or Facebook, and you can download this material that you prepare. Maybe you prepare physically in Word, or maybe with your hands, and you can take a photo and you can upload it. It's not necessary to use also a Word file. So maybe you have the opportunity to write with your hand, to do it on a paper, so you can take a picture, upload it, and your students download it and complete, or maybe print it. They can complete the task or the file that you prepare, and that's it. So I think that you could prepare also physical too. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, this is, as I told you, notice the way that you are going to create, create and design your courses. All right, this is the way. Now, in the third part, you have here the list of your students. You have the list of your students. For example, these were my students. And here you have the scores of all the tasks that you have given to them. Notice, you have all the activities. If you notice, you have the different activities that I gave to my students. Notice here. All right, so you have all the scores, and you can download the scores. Yeah. For example, you enter to the final exam, the final exam. So you need to have the scores on an Excel format. So you click on here. Notice this is the final exam. You can click on any activity, on any task, in order to get the scores. So you click on the final exam. This is an example. And here on this wheel, yeah, you have this wheel. Notice here, copy all grades into Google Sheets, download all grades as CSV file, download grades as a CVS files. I'd advise you to do the first one, because the second one you're gonna receive an Excel file. Yes, it's more quicker, right? But here you're gonna have the information together, the names, the email, the scores, all together, just separated by commas, and it's gonna be difficult for you to organize it. So my advice is to do the first one, to click on the first one. Copy all grades into Google Sheets. So you're going to go to your Google Sheets. This is one of the apps to Google, no? Yeah, notice here. Now you have this Excel, but it's in Google. It's not on your PC, all right? It's in Google. So you can watch it. Oh, but teacher, I need an Excel, not in Google. Okay, so now you have to go here to this part link where it says file. Yeah? So you need to go here. I'm going to, yes, give me a second. Yeah, so you need to go here where it says file. Yeah? And you click here. Yeah, you click here. And you have to click on download. Notice download as a Microsoft Excel. All right, as a Microsoft Excel, and click it. And you're gonna receive all the scores of the activities that you have taken to your students. And that's it. And you have an Excel file with all the scores of your students. If you have just taken 2 activities, so you can receive the scores of your students in an Excel format. All right. So notice here, that's why this platform is so useful. Notice I'm going to go again to the, yeah. All right. To my courses. Remember that if you're just starting with Google Classroom, you're not going to find this. Yeah? It's going to be blank, yeah? Because you don't have any courses. So don't be scared. Oh, no, this is not what my teacher showed us. Remember, here you can see courses because I created them. But if you haven't created any courses, you're not going to find this. All right, you're gonna find a blank space. So in order to create, what do you need to do? Remember, the first step is to go to the link, or to the icon, sorry, to the icon where you can find the plus symbol, no? You find this, the plus symbol here. This is the first step. Remember that. This is the first step. In order to create your classes. Then you click here, you have to create a class. Remember, create a class. So you have to click on this, create a class, all right? So first on the plus symbol, then where the option says create a class, you click here. All right, you click here. You just read this if you want it. If not, you just check it and continue. And you have to write a name of your course, the class, the section, the topic, the room. And that's it. Now, in order to enroll your students, notice here, in order to enroll your students, remember, each class has a code. So you have to give this code to your students. All right, you give these codes to your students, or maybe here you have another option, copy the invitation link. So you copy and you can give this link to your students through the WhatsApp, no? So you put maybe the code, no, the class code, and you can enter to the class. All right, you can enter to the class. So it's so easy. It's so easy. They enroll to the class themselves just using a code. All right, they just use this code and that's it. Okay. So remember, in order to design your course, where you must go? Where you must go? Here, right? Where is the classwork? All right? So you click here on classwork and you design, remember, you design your course. First, you need to create topics, all the sections, no, subsections of your course. First term, second term, or maybe you want to divide it into weeks. Yeah? First week, second week, no, third week, and so on. So it depends on you, all right? It depends on you, how you wanna work, all right? If you wanna work by periods or terms, or you wanna work by weeks, it depends on you. As I show you, I used to work by weeks. Some courses I divided by terms, no? First, second, third, and fourth, no? This is the 4 terms that we manage during the year. Remember, how can you do that? So you have to go to create, no, where it says create. Here you have again, create. So you have to click here, all right? Create. And create, you have different tasks, different activities, different options. A task, you want to give an assignment, all right? A task with questionnaire, yeah, task with a questionnaire. You want to give an assignment, but developing a quiz or test. A question, remember, a question is when you want to give a poll, a quick survey. Yeah. Material is the option that we use the most, no? Because we're going to upload your materials, your materials. Reused, remember, you want to use this post one more time, maybe you change some aspects of this post in order not to do it again, so you can reuse it. And the topic, remember, let's start with a topic. Third term, we are going to create the other one. Third term, and at. Okay? You just created the third term. Now I want to upload a material here. Now we're going to create an assignment, no? A task. So yeah, task 1. Let's imagine, no? Record your voices. And this is simple instructions. You can add more. Notice here, now on this part, you have more instructions. Notice, you have more instructions. Notice, you have more instructions. You have here, as I told you, the course that you want to put this task or this assignment, you choose with the different courses. If you just created one, so it's gonna appear just one, all right? If you want to give this task, this assignment for all your students or just a few of them or some of them, the score, so you need to change it here, 20, no? Deadline, so the time, the limit, no, that they can present this task. This is the deadline. So let's imagine that I put 20, yeah? The time, yeah, here you have the time, notice the deadline. The topic, oh yeah, this is on the third term. Lo voy a poner el tercero. The third term. And if you want, you can add a rubric. Then we are going to talk about rubrics when we talk about how to evaluate. We are going to give this to the other part of this lesson session, right? We are going to talk about this on the last session, how to evaluate, or how to use tools to evaluate your students, and we're going to talk about rubrics that you could give to your assignments. Okay, so if you want, you could add a rubric or not. No, yeah, it depends on you. No, in order to be more specific on what you require from your students, so it's advisable to put a rubric. No, so a student must know, oh yeah, my teacher is going to evaluate this. For example, no, they have to record their voice, and so I'm going to qualify the organization of the topic, the fluency or the pronunciation. So you are creating your rubrics, all right? If not, you can stay here. So notice this is the task one, record your voices. Maybe you can download an audio in order to give you as an example. So similar to the other one, maybe you don't want to write your rubric here. You want to upload a file, a PDF file explaining how you're going to be evaluated. So you can do that, all right? Or a link maybe in order to follow some examples, no? So as you want here, right? But this is the simple one. And create, what is in create, teacher? What is that? What's the symbol? Create is using the Google Apps. And the other one is when you add your file that you created on your PC or any other website. But in Create, you are going to use the Google Apps. You can create a Google document, a Google presentation, a Google spreadsheet, a Google drawing in Jamboard, or a Google form. Google form is related to questionnaires or quizzes. So this is the difference. Remember, add, it's what you have. What you have. Maybe you use a Google app or not. Most of the time you use your Word or Microsoft Office, no? If you want to upload a Word file or a presentation, a PowerPoint, no, a slideshow or a spreadsheet from Excel, so you could use here. But the other create is using the Google Apps, Google Documents, Google Presentations, Google Spreadsheets, Google Drawings, and Google Forms. So you have here the other aspect, because we didn't take into account the previous one, but in order to know. So here you have this, and then you assign, notice you assign this. Now, notice here something important, that you can program this assignment. So it can be open not in this day. For example, I did it right now, right? But I don't want my students see this assignment now, tomorrow. So you can program it. So you can give here 17, today we're 16, yeah, 17. So this task is gonna be open tomorrow, not today, tomorrow. But remember the deadline is different. When you say program, is not related to the deadline. The deadline is, yeah, in this case, it's the same because it's tomorrow. Now, I'm going to change here the deadline in order to, yeah, the deadline, 22nd. Yeah, notice the deadline is the limit, the time that they have to present. But when you say program, it means that you did the task today as a teacher, but you don't want your student watch this assignment today. They can see it tomorrow, not today, tomorrow, so you can program. Or maybe a day after tomorrow, because it's from Friday, and so no, there's not going to upload it to today, nor tomorrow, yeah, after tomorrow, so you can program. So they are not going to watch. The task is there in the platform, because the assignment is in the platform, but they are not going to watch it because it's not open. So program is the time that you are going to make your students watch this assignment. So yeah, tomorrow no, on Monday. They're gonna watch these tasks. Notice they are gonna watch these tasks on Monday, and they have to deliver it until Friday, but not today. Notice you created You created the assignment today, and the assignment is in the Google Classroom, but your students are not going to watch it. Or maybe they are going to watch it, but it's not going to be open. They cannot upload or download anything until Monday. So you can program it. Notice here, you program, and that's it. Notice the difference. Here you can see the task of this material black, but here you have gray, and here says program to 18th, the 18th. So notice here the difference. So you can program your assignments, all right? Don't get confused. It's different to say that deadline is the limit, the time limit that they have to present their tasks or their assignments. And when you program, it means that you're not going, or your students are not going to watch the assignment until the day that you want. All right. So notice here. So here, as you can see, it's not so difficult to create a class in Google Classroom. It's free. As you can see, it's free. And if you use it on your cell phone, try to practice on your cell phone. It's not going to be so difficult too. It's easier. You can download this app in your, or install this app in your cell phones too, in your mobile phones too. And you can use it with your mobiles. It's not necessary to use your laptop or PC. No, so you can use your app from your cell phone. I think this is the most potential aspect of Google Classroom, that you could use the app so easily. All right. Now, this is similar to this platform on the web. Try to remember the symbol that you could find is plus. Here you can create a topic, create a task, upload some materials. No, remember, a task, a questionnaire, a question like a survey, materials, you can reuse it, that topic. This is in order to organize. Remember, first you need to do is to organize how you're going to design your course or your class. This is important. Then you can give tasks or assignments, or you can upload materials. Yeah, but first you have to create topics. Remember, topics, you create that. All right. So this is the way how we use the Google Classroom. All right. So, well, the time is getting over. Yeah. So we are going to stay here. Next class, I'm going to show you how to work with Edmodo. Yeah, just similar. No, this is similar. Try to remember that these platforms are similar. In general, they have the same characteristics, the same features. There are some specific characteristics that they can identify, but they have all of these that we have seen in the Google Classroom. You can do it in Edmodo. You can create topics, you can create tasks, you can upload materials in a similar way. Then you're going to watch it, okay? So we're going to stop here. Yeah, we are going to stop here. Next class, we're going to finish with this part of Edmodo. Next class, I'm going to teach you how to use Edmodo and a little bit of Moodle. Maybe some of you use Moodle of Edmodo in your schools, yeah? So it's so beneficial, right? Okay, so we are going to stop here. It was a pleasure to see you again or listen to you again, because some of you just listen. And let's see you next week. Take care a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye,
Bye,
teacher.
teacher. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
See you next Saturday. Bye, teacher.
See you next Saturday. Bye-bye. Take care a lot.
Take care a lot too.
Thank you.
Yeah, goodbye, teacher.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Thank you, teacher. Goodbye.